Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Let's get it.
Are relationship prenups a good idea?
I say yes. I think that they're a really good idea.
No fault divorce. In the old days, you used to have to say bad behavior, adultery, abandonment, mental and physical cruelty. Now, all you have to do is say,
it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
But did you see what you just told me? You told me he is positive and dynamic and in his element at his job. And now you're at work, right? And now you're asking him to leave that job.
It's not that I want him to not keep his job. I just want him to move up.
What advice can you give me to try and convince my brother that I think it's for his safety, he should try and sign a prenup? Because I really just feel like she's just in it for the money.
They're not, they didn't get a divorce.
But he's doing her a favor because she's about to turn 30, and you know how it's like super OCD for girls after 30. It's like, oh my God, we get married.
Uh-oh.
So I think they're just trying to rush it. Yeah.
Your Honor.
He's being an anchor to your kite.
Your
He
Honor.
is keeping you and the earth and the ground and stability together so you can fly as high as you want to and never be afraid that you're going to fall off the side of the mountain. How is that not a good thing?
And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He really is. He's a good guy. But that's the problem. He's just very comfortable.
If I'm done with someone, I'm done. I don't want any of this. Take it. I'm out. I think if you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
women feel that they're entitled to alimony and men feel that they're not.
I personally don't think that marriages should have one.
So if something was to happen with you?
Of course you don't.
There are plenty of women who have busted their butts for their men. They have put into that relationship. Why is it that after 5, 10 years, a relationship doesn't work? You're gonna throw me out of the house?
Like, just take the house from me? Would you take the house? Would you take the kids? Would you take the cars?
No, you know I'm not even that type of person.
No, I'm keeping the house, the car. I'm keeping everything. Your is leaving the house.
A marriage license is a marriage license. It's not a fix-a-dude kit.
It's fine, but I don't want him, Your Honor. I don't want to be with someone like that. I want somebody that's gonna fly away with me if that's how we're gonna put this.
If we get married and then you decide to divorce me next year, then you leave with half of it, that's not fair.
But why are you already thinking about that?
Babe, it's something that I have to think about. I don't know why Danny's so surprised. The prenup's obviously something that we need to have in place.
Ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work if you don't put your all into A?
I built a business long before she even came into the picture, you know, and I have to protect that.
Has she mentioned the prenup to you?
You know what? She actually said it during a family outing. She said that if he were to ask that, then he's not the right fit for her. So, and I get it. You know, I think as women, we are all, I guess, secretly gold diggers. We all want a guy that's gonna provide.
Uh-oh. She said it. Oh, they're pissed.
Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one.
That's your divorced woman right there giving advice to other women to follow their intuition. Basically saying, follow your emotions.
Let's say if you end up very unhappy, or maybe you're just like, something can just switch, you know, maybe you can just like, oh, I don't like him anymore. Would you stay married to him for the rest of your life? You're not sexually attracted. You don't like, he's just not funny anymore. You just don't like him anymore.
Do we have kids?
Yeah.
If we have kids, it's not about me anymore.
So you would rather see your children grow up in a home where parents are sleeping in separate bedrooms, they don't talk, they don't hold hands, they don't kiss.
I would rather see my kids grow up in a home where they're at every statistical advantage than statistical disadvantage.
Like, to me, I feel like it'll be different if me and you started when I was 18, going through college, my college sweetheart. Oh, it wouldn't be no question.
Makes sense.
Like, nothing.
So what you're saying is I won't with you shooting in the gym.
I was going to be a little more easier. I was.
If you've ever wondered how Steve Harvey has made millions, off women by lying to them, you're getting firsthand experience right here on the Coffee Pot.
This coffee smells like shit.
Ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work if you don't put your all into A?
You have to go into that relationship 100% committed, not thinking, okay, if it doesn't work out, this is what I'm gonna do.
My marriage was a success. Yeah.
Okay.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
What's the most humbling experience you've ever had?
Without a question, that would be waking up in the hospital after being married 28 years and your wife's gone. She's run off with another man. I was in there for back surgery. I went from having a house on the golf course, a house at the beach at Gulf Shores, to no house at all.
So I feel like since you know that I'm not that type of person, what is it going to hurt? We spoke about prenups. Eric thought we should have one. I didn't think we should have one. I'm not against it. It's just wanting Eric to trust me more.
It's all about the trust, Eric. That's it. Just prove the trust. It's not about the money.
I represented a husband. He worked since he's 16 years old, saving money. And he bought a house prior to getting married. He bought it the week prior to getting married. Within 3 years, that house that he had put his entire life savings into was jointly titled. He was so upset that he lost half of that house, half of his life savings.
I'm just not sure if you're doing this because you don't trust me or like you're...
Oh, here we go. The fake tears are here. Put that coffee down.
Put that coffee down.
Let me tell you something. I don't know a single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it.
Did you know that when you get married, everybody has a prenup? Yep, the prenup is the state law that you live in. Every state has rights and obligations associated with marriage. So if you get married without drawing up your own terms and conditions,
listen
you are
up,
by
man.
default submitting to your state's prenup.
But my question is, why do we really need one?
You need to seek out a real estate lawyer. You have to remember that when you put the other spouse's name on the title, it gives them ownership and they own half of the house and half of the equity.
It's the #1 cause of divorces. Movies like this. I love this movie. I also love Ryan Gosling. But stuff like this sets unrealistic expectations of marriage. And when the honeymoon phase is over, they end up in my office. We call movies like this inventory stalkers for divorce attorneys.
And who falls for those movies? Women.
If you want to know why men don't want to get married a second time after divorce, it's because they lose in divorce. A lot of men lose their children altogether when they are fit fathers, or they end up with 30% custody while the woman gets 70, and they also end up paying a huge amount of money in child support. Add to that, because the woman won the children, she's also getting a large percentage of their assets, much more than a 50-50 share.
I am astounded that Bill Gates did not get a prenup. He did not get a prenup. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the money he had then and the money they have now? And he never got a prenup. If Bill and Melinda Gates hadn't settled and they went to court, the stock market could have been affected. Many, 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 many companies could have failed. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people could be jobless.
There you have it. So a lot of you probably watched that video and you thought to yourself, okay, I got it. Don't get married, right? That's where you're at. And I don't blame you. I don't blame any men today who don't see value in marriage, because honestly, if you look at the logic in 70% of women initiating divorce, men getting the bad end of the stick the majority of the times when it comes to marriage, the logical thing to do would be to not get married. So there's that first set of guys who are just not going to do it. And understandably so. And for guys like me, I've said in multiple videos that I will probably get married. I don't know if it's maybe because I grew up in a 2-parent family home. But for guys like me, you know, I think it's important to, first of all, educate yourself. And second of all, understand that you have to take some type of provision to protect yourself if you still plan on getting married. Now, that could be anything. I'm from Africa, man, so I have no problem going under a tree and hiring some pastor to bless us and call it a marriage, because at the end of the day, I don't believe a piece of paper determines whether I'm married or not. Or you might want to go the route of getting an ironclad prenup. We see that helps and has helped a lot of successful people who are protecting assets, etc. Nevertheless, what you can't deny is it's never been more dangerous for a man to decide to get married than today. Now, you're especially crazy, not crazy, you're stupid if you're a guy who decides to take that step and not protect yourself, right? In some shape or form. Now, are you guaranteed that you're foolproof? I don't think anything in life is guaranteed. And this video wasn't made to shift you in any which way. This video was made to educate and maybe strengthen your decisions and your beliefs, no matter what that may be. But you're a man at the end of the day. Don't let anybody influence you into making a decision when it comes to this, especially a woman that you love, right? Don't let love, blindly loving any woman, put you in the circumstance where now you're getting divorced because you chose to make a decision because you were pressured. She gave you an ultimatum. Don't let family members, don't let people around you pressure you into a situation that you're not ready for. That's the first thing, right? Make a decision that's based in your own choice, right? You decided to do this. And also protect yourself, man. Protect yourself. Anyways, guys, that's my piece. I'm curious to know what you guys think of the content. Comment down below. As always, I appreciate you for checking out this episode of The Coffee Pod. Don't forget to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, man. I'm out. Peace.